hostile act. And Reiner pushing Boston there. It doesn't look like a basketball play to me. Congratulations are in order for the Indiana Fever, Caitlyn Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and so many other amazing women, incredibly talented women that played yesterday's game. The Indiana Fever defeated Phoenix Mercury 88 points to 82. This was a highly anticipated match. There was a lot of press going on, especially on Twitter, what I saw on social media. And they had interviewed Diana Taurasi, and they said, what do you guys think about? What do you think about in specific of, about the matchup with the Indiana Fever and Caitlyn Clark for the very first time? Diana Taurasi replied, it'll be fun. And, the vets were kind of giving her some love before the game. Everybody hugged. That's how it is in all the basketball games, right? Whether the NBA or the WNBA, everybody acts civil prior to the freaking game. And then, of course, emotions start going, the tension, the frustration, the aggression starts going once that ball gets shot into the air for the tip-off, right? People want to win. You got your reputation, your legacy on the line, and, things kind of can get out of hand. Watching the game, I thought that Phoenix was going to win, okay, because they had the upper hand. They had some points up on Indiana Fever in the first, say that either it was the end of the second quarter, I'm trying to remember, or the beginning of the third quarter is when you see the Indiana Fever. They're starting to rise, right? So then it kept just going back and forth like a tennis match, ping pong or pickleball, right? It would be like, the Phoenix would score, Mercury would score 2 points, and then Indiana Fever would score 2 points. Then that'd be 81. That'd be like 70 to 72 points. Then 72 to 73 points. Then 74 to 75 points. I kept going back and forth. I'm just like, oh my God, they were always off by just 1 to 2 points. That game was so good. It had me on the edge of my freaking couch because it really was just back and forth, back and forth. I'm on the edge of my seat, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Because again, I was rooting for Indiana Fever, but I'm Phoenix Mercury, they have so many great veterans. They got Diana Taurasi, they got Brittany Griner, Natasha Cloud. I'm like, what? I don't know. I don't think they can beat them. I don't think they have the strength, the skill, the wherewithal, the experience, when it comes to the WNBA. But you know what? Indiana Fever and Caitlyn Clark and her teammates, they did it. They got it done, and they defeated Phoenix Mercury. So this game was interesting because a little fight, okay, not a fight, it was getting there, okay, but a little scuffle, a little brawl, a little, tussle almost ensued. And I say almost because it was some pushing and shoving. People are saying that Sophie Cunningham is the one who started it. She pushed. I forgot. I can't pronounce her last name. It's just with an F. Felenagle. Is that Sophie Cunningham pushed a member on the Indiana Fever team. Her last name is pronounced Felenagle. I'm sorry. And they saying that's what kind of tipped it off, right? So it was some aggression shown by the vets towards the rookies. Not really vice versa. I'm not even gonna say vice versa, but it was it was mainly the Phoenix Mercury that was coming for the Indiana Fever, and I'm just come on, y'all should know better. It's I don't like seeing even the NBA. I understand that yes, basketball is physical. Again, the physicality is a sports. It's a contact physical sport, but you're professional players. You got to have good sportsmanship. You got to show courtesy. You got to show respect to not only your opposing members, your teammates, your coach, supporters, head assistant coaches, and also yourself. And it's honestly, I'm going to just put it out there. The Phoenix Mercury, they have been a ghetto organization for years now, okay? Diana Taurasi's behavior on and off the court, mainly on the court. You don't really hear much about her doing too much. Do I even have to bring up Brittany Griner? Some things ain't her fault, okay? I'm going to get into the whole Russia situation coming up next with some things that happened during this game. But overall, the Phoenix Mercury know better. They should know better to, play so aggressively towards the rookies. I understand we're competitive. I love that. I love the passion. I think that's also what's growing in the sport. The WNBA, you see these ladies really giving it their all. But it's a fine line between some physicality and y'all getting into a pushing match, y'all calling each other names and y'all just acting just shady and just hateful, So in the second quarter, I saw something I did not like. Brittany Griner pushed Aaliyah Boston hard, kind of in her. She hit her in the face, she pushed her hard, almost to the point Aaliyah had she started stumbling backwards. She damn near knocked Aaliyah Boston off the ground, and Aaliyah Boston is such a sweetheart. She was born and raised in the Bahamas, and she's 6'5". Her stats show that she's 6'5". She's 220 pounds. Brittany Griner is 6'8", 205 pounds. So. Again, she might be weight a little bit more than her, but Brittany Griner just looks strong. I'm sorry. I would be intimidated as hell. Yes, there was a huge debate going on about Brittany Griner. It was on TikTok. It was a video of her at the pool. She literally had no shirt on. She was shirtless. She just had on some swim trunks. And it's her chest was flat. And I'm not sure if she's taking steroids or not steroids. I'm sorry. What is it called? Like hormone replacement therapy, like testosterone or something. But it's like I would be intimidated as hell. Okay, and I'm of course like I'm 5'5". I ain't gonna be in nobody's professional basketball team. But if I was just to like be in the WNBA, even if I was 5'8", 5'9", 6', 6'2", going up against Brittany Griner and her aggression, and then on top of that, the fact that she spent 10 months and survived in a Russian hard labor camp when she got locked up in Russia for having that like 9 grams of weed. No, no, I'm not guarding Brittany Griner. If y'all want me to guard Brittany Griner, I need 2-3 more women to help me take her down and keep her from her goalpost and getting shots on us. I'm like, no, ain't no way. Who knows what happened to Brittany Griner? Again, I'm not trying to not make light of her situation because Russia prison camps are no joke. But again, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's no joke. Who knows what she witnessed and what she went through? And it's like I'm not trying to. Ain't no tussling. No, Brittany, I'm not trying to fight you. Like, who really finna trying to fight Brittany Griner? And the way she pushed Aaliyah Boston like that, who's like really tall and big and strong. Next. So yeah, again, that was disappointing seeing like the rookies on the Phoenix Mercury, the opposing side, just like was manhandling the rookies on the Indiana Fever. They get into shoving matches. They start in beef, aka Sophie Cunningham. She started that little brawl. It was just too much. I think it was like a little, Natasha Cloud versus Erica Wheeler. It was again like it was some situations with them. Natasha Cloud was really aggressive in this match. I'm not really too familiar with Natasha Cloud and her game. I had to look at her, really follow her career more and more because again, like this might be a one-off. Maybe we don't have, they're not mic'd up. We don't know what was said. We don't see everything. Perhaps Erica Wheeler started it. Maybe she threw an elbow in her rib cage and we didn't see that part. I just saw Natasha Cloud it seemed like she was on the court hollering and like screaming at people and just acting a fool. So I'm like, again, like I have to take Indiana Fever side. Like Erica Wheeler looked like, from what I saw, that Natasha was kind of being a bully. And then, as you can see, like in the beginning of this clip, you got, I think it's pronounced Kalea Copper. She has some aggressive energy towards Caitlyn Clark. I'm like, dang. Like, she was trying to score the basket. Either I think she blocked the shot or like the time clock went out, right? And then like the ball was coming down and you just see Caitlyn Clark kind of like, just slightly tap her shoulder because she was trying to push the damn ball from hitting her in the head. And Kalea Copper was like, kind of like, like she was about to run up on her. And Natasha Cloud had to like say, wait a minute, I saw what happened. Like she was just not trying to hit you. She was trying to keep the ball from hitting you in the head. Like Kalea Copper, please just leave her alone. Leave Caitlyn alone. And it was funny because during that brawl, the little scuffle with that Sophie Cunningham, I'm keep saying that on the Phoenix Mercury she started. I was on Twitter and like everybody was like, it was blowing up. Everybody was saying what happened. It was like, now notice that they always say like, well, how come the Indiana Fever and Coach Size never have Caitlyn Clark's back? I'm like, and it was like in this instance, you see Caitlyn Clark literally like once the scuffle kind of broke out, you see her like trying to pull some of her teammates, and then she said, you know what, to hell with this, and she walked about it. They said, this is an A and B conversation, and CC said, I'm gonna see myself out, and it's true. Like, you know what, it was smart what she did. She's a class act. Caitlyn Clark is a classy woman. She doesn't want to be in no scuffle. She don't want no violence. She's a Christian young lady I respected. And, she's mature. She carries herself with a certain maturity. It's like, she's like, I'm not about to get into no fights. I'm not paid to be no security guard. Y'all want to get into a scuffle. Y'all with the girls want to tussle. I'm going to go ahead and walk off and get me some Gatorade. I'm not fighting nobody. Okay. And there's another reason why she wasn't in the mood to fight. I'm going to get into that a little bit later down the line in this video. So let's go. So again, by the third quarter, you can see Indiana Fever coming up. They kept going back and forth, ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. The Phoenix Mercury was scored 3 points. Indiana Fever scored 3 points. Mercury 2 points. Fever 2 points. Mercury 1 point. Phoenix 1 point, and then the Indiana Fever 1 point. So I just kept going back and forth. I kind of was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, oh my god, I cannot keep watching this game. So in the end, the Fever won again. They won. They defeated the Vets. And, Diana Taurasi, and, she was showing her love. She was showing her respect. She was like, yeah, she was good. She was singing her praises. And Natasha Cloud, during the after-game interview, she was shaking her head in agreement, like, gave her Caitlyn Clark a respect. Because Caitlyn Clark, once they won that game, the Indiana Fever, the freaking, again, like, they had the Phoenix Mercury's home game in Phoenix, Arizona. Not Indiana Fever, not Indianapolis. They home. The crowd, it was so many Caitlyn Clark supporters. The crowd literally stood up and gave the Caitlyn Clark and the Indiana Fever a standing ovation and clapped. It was great. I know she felt goosebumps. And she deserves it. The entire Indiana Fever deserves it. They deserve that win and deserve the respect and the admiration that they captured from the crowd last night. So after the great game where Fever defeated Phoenix Mercury, Coach Christy Sides rather of the Indiana Fever, she did an interview. She said, yeah, Unfortunately, Caitlyn Clark is not feeling well. She actually has a migraine. They said that Caitlyn Clark has been suffering from migraines since she was in college. And as a sufferer of migraines when I was a teenager, thank God, I haven't had one since I was 16. I would get such bad migraine episodes to the point where it actually felt like I was having a stroke. I would get really nauseous. I couldn't speak, swallow. Parts of my body would go numb. I think they diagnosed it as some sort of like a complicated migraine or something. But again, it's only had those like 3 times from the age of 14 to 16. The last one was 16, and thank goodness, I'm eating healthier. I changed my lifestyle around, and hopefully, pretty much it never happens again because it's terrifying. So the fact that Caitlyn Clark played this game while she had, oh my God, the stand fly, sorry. The fact that Caitlyn Clark was able to play this game and do it through a migraine, all the fights, the scuffles, the aggression towards her, like this woman was not feeling well, and she still kept her grace, she still kept her tact, she kept that classy, she stayed with class and grace throughout this entire game. Unfortunately she wasn't able to do the interview, but it's okay, like she needs to rest, get her health up, and take care of herself. But again, like that just is another testament to how incredibly talented she is, and her personality and how she was raised. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, like I'm not sure like how severe her migraine is, but when I hear about a migraine is like a severe headache, period, off the rip. And the fact that she got this incredible win, and it was so much nonsense and like the bullying, low key, it was bullying that the Phoenix Mercury was doing to the Indiana Fever players. Again, hats off to Caitlyn Clark. She did her thing last night, girl. So before this video gets a little bit too long, I'm almost on 12 minutes. Oh my goodness, let me hurry up. People kept on saying like, that Coach Christy Sides, Coach Sides was, sabotaging Caitlyn Clark. There seems to be some beef between them, and people were calling for her to be fired. And honestly, again, like I have to just keep doing my research and see what's going on. Because they said like, she had benched Caitlyn Clark at the end, but again, like she was suffering a migraine. Maybe it could be because of that. But they said like if it wasn't for her benching her, she would have got her a double game. But it's like, at the end, it's a team sport. It's not just about one individual, of course. And like even though Caitlyn Clark is a star, she's a star of the WNBA right now, along with other players, okay? But it's like, I don't believe Coach Sides has a vendetta against Caitlyn Clark. I don't believe she deserves to be fired. Like, when they had lost, so this is when, like, the heat really came for her. Last Sunday game, when they had lost to Chicago Sky by just 1 point, and I believe they won that, I believe Chicago Sky won that game by pure luck, honestly. Like, they kept missing points, baskets, especially Nelissa Smith, towards the end, like, towards the last 2 minutes of the clock on the fourth quarter. And people was like just so upset, like, oh my God, Chrissy Sides is sabotaging her. How dare she? She's a horrible coach. Indiana Fever needs to get rid of her. I'm like, but they won 4 games back to back consecutively in a row with Christy Sides. No, again, like it's not at all uncommon for unfortunately players, be they high school, middle school, college, professional, to not always get along with their coach. And it's not uncommon for coaches to sabotage players and kind of punish them by not giving them minutes and things like that. But again, like I have to do my research on Miss Christy Sides. But from what I'm gathering right now, I think people just like it was just that one game because they don't want to lose, and they don't want to lose to Chicago Sky. Let's be honest, because it's that rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark. That's just my opinion. But no, I don't believe Chrissy Sides should be fired for just that one game, or like what people perceive to be like she has some issue with Caitlyn Clark and saying like she's sabotaging her career and she just needs to leave the league. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all getting too emotional. Let's calm down. And let's just allow the season to continue to play through. Again, I got to give props to Caitlyn Clark and the entire Indiana Fever, Coach Christy Sides, whatever plays she put up, whatever, vision she had, it came true in last night's game with Indiana Fever defeating Phoenix Mercury.